30 minutes. Well, by the time we get started, yeah, we'll have the anthem, we'll have lineups. We got last night to talk about.
Setup graphics on the board. Camera 1 is hot. Go ahead and go.
It's Friday, and if you got a job or you don't have a job, I know you have nothing to do, and you need to be right here with us in Graham, Texas, where the Grapevine Mustangs are set to take on the Bulldogs from Abilene, Wylie in a Round 3 playoff action. Game number 2 coming up next on Mustang Baseball Live.
Go ball! Get out of here! Get out of here! Oh, get deep! Get deep! Be deep!
Oh. 2 balls, 1 strike on Jared Boswell Jr., the first baseman for the Mustangs. Hadn't been in a bigger spot in his life. Oh, he hit one! He burned him! He burned him!
Let's go!
He burned him!
Yeah! We got a ball game!
Mustangs are state champions!
I love it, Trey!
Oh my God!
Mustang Baseball Live on Tradio begins now.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Graham High School here for game number 2 of the the semifinals of region here in a 3-game series between the Grapevine Mustangs and the Abilene Wylie Bulldogs. We're excited to be here today. Mr. BC on hand, joined by the voice of the Mustang baseball program and Grapevine Athletics, Jeff Knipper. Hey, Jeff.
Thank you, BC Carpenter. I just need to get your last name in just to prove I haven't forgotten it yet today. But just a dominant performance last night by the Mustangs, and it started on the mound with Luke Esquivel. Luke went 7 innings, no earned run allowed, only allowed 2 hits and had 8 strikeouts. Just really set the tone for the game. And because he was so dominant, the Mustangs were really never challenged. They got on the board early on a home run by Zach Goldstein down the right field line. We weren't sure it was going to clear the fence, but we had a great shot of it last night on Tradio and cleared that 320 sign out there to get the Mustangs on the board early with a run. Mustangs came back in the bottom of the 3rd inning and picked up another 2 runs. And then in the 6th inning, stretched it out to a 5-run of that game that it felt like we were up by more than 5 because mainly Lolly was so dominant on the hill, but the defense played well behind him. I'm sorry, yeah, Luke was dominant. We will have Lolly on the mound today, so I already got him on my mind. Yes. But, yeah, moving on to today's game, the Mustangs have a 1-0 lead, and they are in a good spot, but there's a couple of things that they need to focus on today. Actually, I would
agree with you so much.
We've got some keys to the game here, and for this is going to be offensively and defensively. The first pitch matters. We want to see Wylie getting ahead of that hitter early. He's got a good fastball. No reason not to challenge these hitters with that fastball. And then on the offensive side, we saw last night that Brady Gay attacked the Mustang hitters early with a fastball. So get in the box and get ready to hit that first pitch fastball if you get it and you like it. Secondly, the Mustangs just need to keep playing Mustang defense, and that means making the plays that they should make, and then they're going to make some plays sometimes they shouldn't make, just great, outstanding ESPN highlight-type plays. They did that last night. They did have a questionable error depending on which scoreboard you look at, but they can live with that. And then, yes, the Mustangs come into this game with a 1-0 series lead, but they need to think, hey, we got to get this first game today. Let's not go to a game 3. Let's not put it in the hands of that game 3. You never can tell. So come out today, set the tone early, just like they did last night, and we expect that from the Mustangs. We've seen Wylie pitch really well here over the last month. His last outing, I look back last Saturday, actually Friday night against Joshua, he went 6 innings of shutout ball, and again, the Mustangs jumped on him early, and that game was over early. So would love to see a repeat of that today.
Yeah, and I would agree with you. Yesterday's game, banging out 5 runs, 13 hits, pretty dominating performance by the Mustangs. Of course, Grapevine coming in ranked number 1 in 5A. And for the Wylie Bulldogs, when you look at their schedule, Grapevine is the first ranked team that they've got to place all year long. So you finally get your chance to play one of the top 10 teams, Jeff, and it's the number 1 team in 5A and the defending state champs, and it's in the regional semifinals. Of course, taking advantage yesterday of the Wylie Bulldog ace, Brady Gay, really pitched his heart off, but those Grapevine Mustang hitters really grinding it out and taking the 1-0 lead today. Grapevine made it here by starting off in the bi-district round with a sweep of the Brewer Bears. Game 2, I think, was a thrilling 11-inning game, Jeff, that had you up in the late nights.
Yeah, that was a nail-biter for sure.
Good stuff. And then a 3-game series against Joshua, dropping the first game.
Correct.
And then winning the next 2 to advance here to the regional semifinals, and now up 1-0 against the Bulldogs.
Yeah, just flashing back to that 11-inning game against Brewer. That was the night that Colin Park scored the winning run. And we not only had Colin Park sliding into home plate, we had Coach Webster, who had taken a spill as he rounded Colin to the plate. And I got to ask Coach Webster about that before the last series, and we both got a chuckle out of that. So it's been a fun journey to get here to round 3, and really want to see this playoff run and hopefully a run to Round Rock again continue.
Let's talk about the next possible round of matchups for the regional finals for either Grapevine or Abilene Wylie. They would face up against the winner of the regional semifinal series between Lubbock Cooper and someone Grapevine is very familiar with, the Argyle Eagles. Currently, Lubbock Cooper has a 1-0 lead in that series. This one. Yep. Currently, Lubbock Cooper has a 1-0 series with a 1-0 victory last night. They, too, get started today at 1 o'clock. Thoughts on the upcoming matchups, Jeff?
Well, we can't get ahead of ourselves. The Mustangs have to take care of business today and win this series first. But, yeah, we're very familiar with Argyle. Argyle obviously is in our district. Mustangs handled them fairly easily in 2 games earlier in the season. So, obviously, the Mustangs would probably be comfortable with that matchup. But last night in a 12-inning game, Lubbock Cooper pulls that one out 1-0. So you have to give Lubbock Cooper the edge in that series coming into today's game against Argyle. So, again, I'm sure the coaches, while they probably saw the same scores we did, their focus is on Abilene Wylie today and getting past this game. And if that happens, then the Mustang coaches no doubt will be doing some preparation for our next opponent, which at least on paper looks like it would probably be Lubbock Cooper. And we're familiar with Lubbock Cooper. We've seen Lubbock Cooper in the playoff run. I believe we faced them here in Graham last year.
Okay.
And there's a good chance if that matchup happened again this year, we would be coming right back here to Graham next week. And honestly, Mustangs seem to like this field. They are now 3-0 on this field and have played really well in this environment. It's a great ballpark. A little warm today, a little warmer than yesterday, but all in all for Texas in mid-May, not completely intolerable.
Yeah, I would agree. Graham, Texas, Graham High School, beautiful baseball stadium, all turf, lined with the Graham in red and white letters right behind home plate. They have a beautiful Texas flag, painted steer in the middle of center field. And, boy, couldn't get better for this day today. Let's go through the lineups, first starting with your Grapevine Mustangs.
We're going to have Wylie on the mound for the Mustangs. Wylie will also be hitting cleanup for the Mustangs. Gianni Corral behind the plate as usual. Gianni comes off a 2-hit night last night. Wylie had 2 hits. Got Thomas Powers in the DH role.
And starting in the lineup for our Grapevine Mustangs, leading off will be our left fielder. Oh, a correction. This is the outfield for the Grapevine Mustangs. Left fielder number 1, Luke Esquivel.
And rounding out the infield, we've got Colin Park, who tonight shifts over to third base with Wylie on the mound. We'll have Connor Ray at shortstop. Got Will Newton sliding in at second base, or the singer, as Trey Bell likes to call him. And then Jarrett Boswell at first base, who had a 3-hit night last night, including 2 doubles.
Good stuff.
Yeah, I have the Wylie lineup, and I'll go through that. Offensively, their batting order is pretty much unchanged, but they do have some position changes. We got Dylan Regala leading off and playing second base. Colby Garrett in the 2-hole, who'll be at shortstop. Got Jace Tomlin out in left field, batting third. On the mound today will be Hudson Tooley, and he'll be hitting cleanup. At third base, Jake Bearden, batting fifth. In the 6-hole, Kaysen Parrish, who last night I believe was the catcher, but I don't see.
That's correct.
I don't see that we'll have to confirm the catcher. We got Blaze Ruffin batting seventh in center field. We're going to have Easton Tooley, the brother of Hudson, in the DH role.
And he's batting for the catcher, who is Brady Gay. Starting pitcher last night is catching today.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Okay. Well, that's interesting. And then we've got Landon Stone out in right field in the 9-hole in the lineup.
Wylie Bulldogs under the direction of Coach Martin. And finishing up warm-ups here at Graham High School. Grapevine on the field, taking their infield. And we're going to take a quick break to get some words in from our sponsors right here at Graham High School for the 2025 Baseball Championships Regional Semifinals. Game number 2 between the Bulldogs and the Mustangs. You're listening to Mustang Baseball Live on Tradio.
Yeah, let me first of all thank Action Logistics for our additional cameras and the sponsorship, the great shots we're able to provide you. Action Logistics is responsible for that, and they can help you out with your freight handling needs on the dock. You can go to actionlogistics.com and learn a little bit more about the services they provide and how they can help you out if you have that need.
The C.J. Knipper Memorial Golf Tournament will be held this year on Friday, October 10th at Fossil Creek Golf Club. The tournament is dedicated to honoring the memory of C.J., who was a GHS student actively involved in DECA and golf. 100% of the proceeds from the tournament create scholarships for deserving DECA seniors at Grapevine High School. Since 2020, $45,000 in scholarships have been awarded. To find out more, including how to donate or be part of the tournament, please go to www.cjmemorialgolftournament.com.
Successful events? Your audience expects them. Your budget demands them. From large-scale festivals to intimate receptions, T-Stream delivers with precision and impact. Our team has supported the biggest names in entertainment and facilitated sessions for the largest governing body in the world. Somewhere in that range is your event, and we're ready for it. Visit tstreamevents.com to see why excellence has a name. T-Stream.
Camera 2's hot.
And we're back here at Graham High School, getting ready for the start of game number 2 here in the regional semifinals between Abilene Wylie Bulldogs and the Grapevine Mustangs. You know, yesterday about, and reminiscing, of course, about the playoff run that the Mustangs have made over the last 2 to 3 years with this awesome program. And, you know, last year, as the defending state champs, the UIL awarded 7 state champions from private to 6A. Well, this last summer there was a realignment, and now we have the big and little school division in each class. And this year, Texas UIL will hand out 14 state championship trophies in baseball. What are your thoughts about the new big and little divisions?
I got to tell you, BC, I'm struggling a little bit with the format because Trey has explained to me it's possible that Colleyville, who plays in our district and we've already faced twice this year, could also win a state championship. They're on the other side of the bracket, and we would not face them because they're not in our division. So it's a little baffling to me how a team in your district would not be on your side of the bracket when you go through the playoff run. But I guess for the school district, GCISD, that would be a great thing, you know, to have 2 state champions. I wonder if that's ever happened. Obviously, under the old format, it couldn't have happened. But I actually had a discussion with one of the Graham football coaches before the game, who's going to be on the PA system today, and he explained to me that in football it's been like that. It's been like that all along. So baseball is transitioning to a playoff structure that has already been in place on the football side. So I guess the concept shouldn't be that foreign to me, but I got to admit I haven't followed the football playoffs the way I follow the baseball playoffs. And while we're talking about playoffs, the Grapevine Mustang lady softball team is playing in the very nice softball field beyond the outfield fence here, and they won yesterday 4-1, and they're in the regional level already of the playoffs. So they're looking today to close out their series and move on. So good luck to those Mustang lady softball players.
Over there at Hogan Field, the softball complex here, adjoining the baseball complex. These 2 complexes are collegiate level type complexes, folks, for a high school out here in Graham, Texas. Pretty good stuff. Back to the alignment. Yeah, it's kind of a pros and cons, and I think we'll learn a lot about it these next few years. But what a great point when you have such a strong district in baseball. And again, we went back to Region 1 being so competitive in just the area around Dallas-Fort Worth with baseball. You might have a couple of different state champions from the state district, some from the same district, which would be absolutely baffling. You know, in boys and girls basketball, Jeff, they handed out 28 state champion trophies this year between boys and girls in the UIL, which, hey, a lot more schools get to celebrate, have that experience, right? But at the same time.
Yeah, not exactly a participation trophy, but it does water the field down a bit when you have that many state champions. Of course, it's not fair for a 1A school to be competing against a 5A school. But back to the subject of the outstanding baseball, just look at our district. Regardless of what happens from this point going forward, we have 3 teams right now still alive in the playoffs in Colleyville, Argyle, as well as, of course, our Grapevine Mustangs. So I don't think we got a score on Colleyville's series last night, and I'm not sure, maybe it didn't start, but maybe we can dig that up here in some of our free time.
Here it is. Colleyville Heritage won 10-2 over El Paso Americas.
Oh, wow. So they faced off with an El Paso squad. And where did we
they are playing in Odessa.
They're in
Odessa. They're at Odessa High.
So they had a bit more of a road trip than we did.
Boy.
We know that Argyle series was at Abilene Christian.
Yep. Yeah, and I mean, Odessa's probably a good halfway point. El Paso traveling about the same amount of distance, right? 5 hours each way. We're spread out here in Texas, Jeff. You can do some road travel.
Yeah, so our district went 2-1 yesterday in the playoffs. So Argyle taking the only loss within our district.
We'll give you some updates throughout the day on, of course, 5A, Division II, as well as Division I, based on some great playoff action around the state, and 5A is really competitive this season. We have the umpire meeting and managers meeting right now at home plate, folks. You see that on your screen. We are not far from high school playoff baseball here, game number 2 of the regional semifinals here at Graham High School.
Yeah, Coach Webster's down there with Coach Grant Martin from Abilene Wylie, and again, thanks to Coach Martin for the very insightful interview we got yesterday. I also got a chance to catch up with his assistant coach, Lee Fletcher, before the game, and Lee happens to be from Alabama, Montgomery, Alabama, and we got talking about South Alabama baseball, and it turns out he was actually recruited by some of my old coaches, Coach Ronnie Powell, who was a pitching coach at South Alabama, or CP as everyone called him, and Coach Steve Kittrell. And Coach Fletcher's dad it was the head coach at Faulkner University, a smaller college in central Alabama. So it's a small world sometimes in the baseball community.
Man, that's awesome. Good stuff. Yeah, baseball's a talking sport, as the old Gray Wolf would tell us. And it's fun to hear stories, compare time, hear the histories of some of these coaches in a small world of everybody kind of working together.
Yeah, we're shaking hands now and probably going to have the starting lineups announced here shortly by our PA announcer.
We're not far, folks. The national anthem and introductions are coming up. We're going to turn on the ambient mic, let you get a little experience on what we have here on Tradio.
Before we begin, let's meet the starting lineups. First, the designated visitors, the Grapevine Mustangs. Leading off, number 1, playing left field, Luke Escobar. Batting second, number 2, the center fielder, Zach Goldstein. Batting third, the first baseman, number 12, Jarrett Boswell. Batting fourth, number 11, in pitching, Lale Escobar. Batting fifth, number 24, the catcher, Yanni Corral. Batting sixth, number 5, the third baseman, Colin Park. Batting seventh, number 4, the DH, Thomas Powers. Batting eighth, number 7, the shortstop, Connor Ray. And batting ninth, number 9, the right fielder, Brady Boozer. And the second baseman is number 8, Will Newton. Now, let's meet the designated home team, the Wylie Bulldogs. Leading off, second baseman, number 7, Dylan Regala. Batting second, number 6, the shortstop, Kobe Garrett. Batting third, number 2, the left fielder, Jace Tomlin. Batting fourth, the pitcher, number 22, Hudson Tooley. Batting fifth, number 1, the first baseman, Jake Bearden. Batting sixth, number 21, third baseman, Kason Parrish. Batting seventh, number 44, the center fielder, Blaze Ruffin. Batting eighth, number 27, DH, Easton Tooley. Batting ninth, number 8, Landon Stone. At this time, if you're able, please rise for the playing of our national anthem.
Beautiful national anthem here, and I think we're about ready for high school baseball. The Abilene Wylie Bulldogs are on the field. And the starting pitcher from yesterday, Brady Gay, will be the starting catcher behind the plate. And on the mound for the Abilene Wylie Bulldogs, Hudson Tully.
Yeah, Hudson is a left-hander. He played first base yesterday, and Tully is I look back through their box scores, at least the last couple playoff games. I didn't see him pitch in their last couple of playoff games. My guess is Coach Martin wanted to go to a left-handed starter today with the Mustangs having a predominantly left-handed hitting lineup. One of the first things I noticed when we got to the field today is we have flags out in right field, so we have a better judge of the wind direction today. It's blowing across left to right, so possibly helping balls hit to right field and maybe hurting a ball hit to left field a tad. But not a really big wind out here, just enough to keep it a little somewhat comfortable.
Goldstein's home run was to right field yesterday, just inside the foul pole, and Connor Ray almost hit another one, but it was just foul.
Correct, and we looked at a replay of the game this morning at Trey's place, and that ball, not to take anything away from it, but it was a fence scraper is what they might call it. It didn't clear by much, but it doesn't matter. It counts the same either way. You can hit it to 380 out there, or you can hit a fence scraper, and it's still just going to be one run unless there's guys on base.
Good stuff. Hudson Tully finishing up his warm-up pitches. The leadoff hitter, number 1, Luke Esquivel. We'll get it started for the Grapevine Mustangs here in game number 2.
Yeah, it looks like Hudson's got a decent fastball. We saw him also turn a few pitches over with a break on it.
Luke giving a fist dap to the umpire and the starting catcher. Many of these players know each other from the summer showcases and club ball tournaments, traveling around through the summer. So you see a lot of fun getting to see your club buddies playing for the other high school teams. Tully ready for the first pitch of game number 2. Fastball up for a ball. Tully, tall left-hander, pitching out of the stretch from the first base side of the rubber. He kicks and delivers, and that's way inside, an off-speed pitch. Luke will back up out of the box for ball 2.
I like how on that first pitch the home plate umpire actually gave a hand signal just to say it was up. So kind of maybe letting the pitcher know exactly where that strike zone is going to be.
That pitch fouled off over to the third base side. Well, you know, I wonder if that hand signal was a strike because the scoreboard operator now has 2 strikes. And, yes, he just gave the 1 and 2 count.
Okay, well,
so
I thought he was saying it was high.
It was high. So 1-2 count to Esquivel.
I misread that one.
You and I both. He comes set. Here's the pitch over the top, and Luke hits a ground ball to Hopper. Bobbled by the third baseman, Parrish. He tries to throw out Luke, but he's unable to, and that's going to go down as an error for the third baseman, trying to pick up that short hop that bounced right out of his glove on the backhand.
Yeah, he tried to backhand it. Quite honestly, I felt like he could have got in front of it and had time, but just didn't come up with it, and that definitely was an error. But it's a leadoff hitter on base all the same for the Mustangs.
Following through just like they did to start off yesterday's game, here comes Zach Goldstein. His solo home run in the first. He squares around, offers to bunt, pulls back for a ball.
Yeah, that third baseman's charging hard, so this would be a nice one actually to drag bunt to the first base side here. Make that first baseman try and play it, or the pitcher at least.
That ball misses. Correction, called strike.
Make sure that pitcher has to come get it, though, towards the first base line. We did have a bunt right back to the pitcher last night.
Bearden at first, holding on the runner, Esquivel. The pitch by Tully, and there's the bunt by Goldstein, fielded by the pitcher. He's going to underhand to first base, and the sac bunt goes down, moving Luke to second base.
Yeah, good job right there by Zach moving the runner. No way that pitcher could make a play at second base.
Big first baseman Jarrett Boswell, number 12 for the Mustangs, will step in, batting from the left side. 3 left-hand hitters coming to the plate to lead it off for the Mustangs.
Yeah, Zach had 3 hits last night as well as Luke, so he also had a big game in that last third game against Joshua, so his bat's been on a tear here for the last week.
That ball outside on the first pitch fastball. Blaze Ruffin, the center fielder for the Bulldogs, is shaded over to right center, sitting on top of the horn of our painted steer in center field.
Yeah, left fielder's kind of shaded the other way, so there's a huge gap out there in left center.
Pitch by Tooley, once again outside to Boswell. Jarrett ahead in the count, 2-0.
2 of Jarrett's hits last night were to right field, but he did actually hit one to left field also. Line drive.
And a balk. Hudson Tooley.
Trey called that one from the press box up here, but huge right there to move Luke to third base with only 1 out. And
lefty-lefty matchup. Boswell could be trying to go the other way, but all he has to do here is get a fly ball in the outfield or a ground ball to the right-hand side.
Yeah, that first baseman's playing in, so they may try and cut it down if he hits one right back to the first baseman.
Big cut on the high fastball. Boswell fouls it straight back to the screen. Lolly Esquivel will hustle over, help the umpire out. Hopefully the home plate umpire will remember that kindness from our junior third baseman and starting pitcher today. Tooley comes set. Takes a look at the runner at third. Here's the pitch. It's outside. It gets away from Gay at the plate, and Luke Esquivel will score the first run of game number 2. Mustangs lead 1-0.
Yeah, that curveball bounced at least 3 or 4 feet in front of the plate. It was also on the other side of the box, so Gay really didn't have much of a chance at that one. That's a wild pitch.
Grapevine took the early 1-0 lead yesterday, and just like that, they are up in game 2. Base is clear. 3-1 count to the first baseman, Boswell. There's the pitch. It's high, and Grapevine will have the first base on ball here in game number 2, bringing up the cleanup hitter and starting pitcher today, Lolly Esquivel.
Number 11, Lolly Esquivel.
It should be a good matchup here for Lolly with a left-hander out there on the mound, and Lolly had 2 hits last night.
Lolly, the first hitter from the right side of the plate for the Mustangs. He steps in. Back foot on the back line, back corner. With a nice open stance. He has a tall batting stance, keeps his feet fairly close together. Tooley with a pickoff attempt over to first base to keep Boswell close. First pitch to Lolly. He fouls off the fastball inside. A little undecided there on what he was looking for.
Yeah, tried to check his swing, but that pitch was so far inside, got a piece of the bat.
Looks like it might got a piece of his left foot as well as he shakes out his toe. Back in the box and ready to go, though. The pitch, it's inside. The runner goes. Here's the throw by Gay. It's late. Boswell with a stolen base for the Mustangs.
So another runner in scoring position here early.
Off-speed pitch there from Tooley. A little too far there in the left-hand or right-hander's batter's box, and Gay unable to get the throw off in time. 1-1 count to Lolly. Here's the pitch. He hits a ground ball. Shortstop will grab it off a one hop, go to first. But the runner moves, and Boswell just hit the bag wrong and rolled his ankle, and he's writhing on the ground in pain at third base.
Oh, wow.
It was just an easy roll, and yes, he has a really tough rolled ankle. He just tried to slow up on the bag there, and it just slipped and rolled on him. Here come the trainers to check on Jarrett Boswell.
Let's see if he can put any weight on it. He's
Stand
up
now.
at least, but he certainly seemed to be in a lot of pain.
Rolling your ankle is never any fun, and if you're a baseball player and you've played long enough, you will absolutely tweak your ankle on a base, whether you're sliding in, whether you're running through it.
Wow, I like the fact, though, he's able to walk like that. I mean, I'm sure it hurts, but we were worried it was more severe.
I agree. It did not look good, and kudos to the Abilene Wylie Bulldog staff. Their trainers were the closest to third base. They were out of the dugout real quick to check on Boswell. He's walking around, but it looks like he is going to come out for a runner. That way the training staff can tape him up, because that's usually what happens when you roll your ankle. But I agree, Jeff, just to see him walking like that, doesn't look like he's labored too much. That's a good sign.
Yeah, we saw this in the Brewer series. Gianni had to leave a game with an injury for an inning, and a starter can exit the game and re-enter later, which is unique to high school baseball, but that's a rule that, quite honestly, I just was aware of this year.
Number 14, Andres Martinez, will come in to be the runner at third base for Jarrett Boswell. Number 24, Gianni Corral, the all-world catcher, stepping in for the Mustangs. 2 outs in the inning and a runner in scoring position.
Gianni's also coming off a 2-hit game last night.
Coaches got together, exchanged some information, it looks like. Be interested to see, does that go down as a pinch runner and Boswell's out of the game, or a courtesy runner?
It'll have to be a pinch runner, but he can come back either way. You wouldn't get a courtesy runner for your first baseman.
Even though most coaches would like to run for their first baseman, most likely. Tooley's fastball fouled back by Corral to the screen, 0-1 count. Swing and a miss. Right back with it. He tipped it right back to the catcher's glove.
I think that was a straight change that you could tell Tooley was saying, get that down, because that was up in Gianni's eyes. I doubt that's where he wanted to throw it, even though he got a strike there.
Fooled him once. See if he can fool him again. The kick, the delivery. Corral fouls it off. Shaking out his left elbow after that swing.
May have reached for that one a little bit. Sometimes when you reach for something and you feel a pop there, but hopefully just at his age, nothing serious.
Here's the pitch from Tooley. Curveball caught the plate, and that's a called third strike and the third out at the top of the first. But the Mustangs strike with 1 run on no hits and 1 error. To the bottom of the first we go here at Graham High School. Game number 2 of the regional semifinals for Region 1. Bottom of the first, Wylie Esquivel, the starting pitcher for the Mustangs, on the mound, the right-hander warming up.
Yeah, Mustangs have to like this start. Only one run, but psychologically that does a lot to that other dugout. They're sitting on a must-win game here, and Mustangs put a run up early, which is exactly how you want to get started. Mustangs are the visitors today.
We're keeping an eye on the first base dugout. We have yet to see the first baseman emerge from the dugout for the Grapevine Mustangs. Boswell rolled his ankle on third base. We could see the trainer taping it up. And I think we're waiting on coach to decide, are we going to bring Boswell back in at first or go with our next option?
The fact they haven't seen anyone else out there would suggest that Jared will be at first base in the bottom of the first inning, because otherwise we would have sent someone out there to get our other infielders warmed up. And, yeah, Lolly's certainly wondering the same thing, wondering who's going to play first base. Yeah, there's Jarrett trotting out, and it was encouraging. It didn't look good initially, but he was able to walk it off and actually seems to be moving okay. He's still a little ginger, I would guess, and having a discussion with the umpire, probably letting him know it's not all peachy.
Here we go, the Abilene Wylie Bulldogs ready to lead it off. Dylan Regala steps in. He'll take a first pitch strike from Esquivel. Regala batting from the right side of the plate. He hits a soft fly ball, actually carrying pretty good to right field, but Boozer back on it, and he'll reach up and catch it for the first out.
We believe that Regala was hitting over 400 coming into this game, coming into the series, but so far in this series, he is hitless. Of course, the Bulldogs only had 2 hits last night, so that would apply to most of their hitters.
Shortstop Colby Garrett stepping in, number 6 from the right side of the plate. And he hits a hard line drive right up the middle past Connor Ray for a single. First pitch swinging from Garrett.
Yeah, good clean base hit right there, right up the middle. Like he got a fastball and drove it up the middle.
Left fielder Jace Tomlin, the third hitter in the lineup for the Bulldogs. Abilene Wylie in the all-white today with the purple letters and purple trim.
If the Mustangs would be in their red jerseys today, and he was correct.
Classic Mustang red jersey, the white pants, white lettering with the Grapevine G on the left chest. That first pitch outside. Lolly comes set, but the umpire calls time. Not ready for the pitch yet.
Lolly likes to work quick, and sometimes a hitter might do that just to try and disrupt your rhythm.
Slide step pitch from Lolly. Takes a little bit off that one. It's high.
Yeah, breaking pitch just stayed outside.
Garrett gets a lead at first. Not going. There's a called strike. 2-1 count behind the plate umpire. We do have a 4-man umpire crew. But, yes, he gives his strike call with a little high punch.
It is a unique signal he's got.
Slow pickoff move over to first. Garrett hustles back in the game with his freshly taped ankle. And he gets the outside call for the fastball. The Abilene Wylie fans not happy about that call.
Well, we saw it last night. The umpire was definitely giving those balls on the corner and maybe an inch or two outside of the corner strikes to the pitcher. So, again, it seems we've got a pitcher's umpire behind the plate today.
Ground ball to first, Boswell up to it. He's going to go to second. Ray catches it for the first out, fielder's choice, but not able to get back in time as Esquivel covers on the throw. It was a slow ground ball.
Yeah, that ball was definitely not a double play ball. Good job by Jarrett getting that lead runner, though, and actually looked good moving right there.
That'll bring the pitcher. Pitcher Hudson Tooley. Nope, my mic's cutting out. Jeff, take over here so I can fix this.
Got Hudson Tooley here at the plate. They're running right here. Good throw, but he's going to – oh, he's going to get him. Okay, I thought he had beat the throw, but looks like maybe he might have slid past the bag there. But either way, the third out there, the base runner got a good jump. I wasn't sure that Gianni was going to be able to get him. Made a nice throw, and good tag put on him right there by Connor Ray, I believe.
For the final out here in the bottom of the first, Gianni guns down the runner, and the Grapevine Mustangs will come to the plate for the top of the second inning here at Graham High School. Appreciate all the feedback, folks, online. We're working out the audio problem. I know my mic keeps cutting in and out, but I think we have it fixed now.
Yeah, we decided today to go without music between innings, so we don't have to worry about the music playing through an inning. We'll have to discuss a variety of topics just to fill some space today, but decided that was the best route to go. Don't think many people out there are going to miss that music.
I would agree out there. Check 1, 2. I think I'm back here. Good stuff.
Yeah, for all the golf fans out there, I've been keeping an eye on the PGA Championship leaderboard, and Johnny Vegas, definitely one of the best names in sports, has a 4-stroke lead now at Quail Hollow. He's at 10 under, and really when you look at the top 10 of the leaderboard, there's really no big names. Scotty Scheffler was hanging around yesterday at a couple under, but no real top 10 player in the world currently sits within the top 10 as we get back into action here with Colin Park stepping in for the Mustangs.
Good update there. Former Texas Longhorn Jonathan Vega. Colin Park, second baseman for Grapevine Mustangs, will step in.
Swings through that one right there. Coach Webster trotting over to the third base coach's box.
That next pitch low to the second baseman, Colin Park, from the right side of the plate. Oven mitt and his back ball back to the right side.
Can hear the Shakers in the today early.
The Mustang fandom, or Mustang Nation, here with the Shakers, the gallon containers full of coins. They could definitely make a racket. That
probably
coins. They could definitely make a racket.
Probably a few Mustang fans out there like myself hoping the Mustangs take care of business here in Game 1 and we can get to Main Street days tonight.
There you go. Swing and a miss on a great off-speed pitch by Hudson Tooley to strike out Colin Park there.
Yeah, that was a sharp breaking ball right there that just broke in on Colin's hands.
Designated hitter Thomas Powers stepping in from the right side of the plate. 1 out in the inning. Here's the pitch from Tooley. Called strike. Both pitchers trying to pound that outside corner today.
Yeah, Thomas is hitting for Will Newton, our second baseman today.
The singer, as Trey would like to tell me. Pitch from Tooley. Fastball right past Powers for strike. Number 2. Looks like Tooley's starting to find his rhythm here in the top of the second.
Yeah, a couple of good fastballs he's thrown right there, right by Thomas.
Pitching exclusively out of the stretch. Batter calls time at the plate, and he is awarded. Center fielder playing deep behind the steer. Garrett also playing back against the grass to Powers. A few other DFW teams in action right now. We'll give you updates throughout the game on some of those scores. That off-speed pitch tried to go backdoor on Powers there, but missed the corner of the plate. It's a 2-2 count.
Kind of been a trend lately with Thomas. Seems to get to a 2-strike count early, but battle and work into some deep counts, and has been able to work some bases on balls in the process, but not right there.
Big fastball from Hudson Tooley right past Powers, his second strikeout of the inning. And 2 outs for the Mustangs as the shortstop, Connor Ray.
Kind of wonder what Thomas was telling Connor there as he was coming to the plate. I noticed he got some advice from Colin Park also. Wonder if he's maybe saying the velocity's a little sneaky fast.
Quick bat, quick bat, quick bat. Hudson Tooley starts Ray off with a curveball, called for a strike. As they say, who's your best friend as a pitcher? Strike one is your best friend. And he has it there on Ray. That second pitch up high for a ball. Looked like he tried to throw the same off-speed pitch there, Jeff.
Yeah, just hung up high on him. Probably release point just didn't find the right spot.
If you can throw it for a strike consistently, you can definitely have success. Here's the pitch. Fastball way up high, gets past everybody to the backstop.
Okay, they're going to say he swung. Colin tried to check his swing, but surprisingly, I didn't see the catcher ask for an appeal to third base, but the home plate umpire went to third base, who made a quick strike call.
I did not think that was that big of an offer. It was such a small check. But down in the count, 1-2 here. 2 outs in the inning. Tooley trying to get out quick. There's that curveball, hangs up. 2-hopper to the second baseman. And the speedy Ray out by a step at first. 1-2-3 inning for the Abilene Wylie Bulldogs. We'll head to the bottom of the second here at Graham High School. Game 2 of the regional semifinals. And another action around DFW. The Aledo Bearcats, ranked number 3 in 5A, and they got the big school designation in Division I, facing off against Amarillo High in Iowa Park. Jeff, out there by Wichita Falls. Aledo won the first game 3-2 yesterday, and currently in the top of the first, they're up 4-1.
Well, you saw that Aledo team last week against Arlington Heights. Tell me a little bit about that Aledo team.
Man, just like Grapevine, they are stacked from 1 through 9, very deep on their roster. Grind out at bats and have some really strong pitchers. Grayson McKelvey, Drew Miller, both 2 aces headed to the next level. Both can bring it in the low 90s. So, very good team. I look to see Aledo make a really strong run. As a matter of fact, that Aledo and Colleyville Heritage matchup would be a dandy if it ends up that way.
Well, we know Aledo's had a really strong football program for a number of years, and quite honestly, I didn't realize their baseball team was of that caliber. I guess when you're winning state championships in football every year, it seems like Aledo has. It's hard to match that success on the baseball diamond.
They've got 11 of those Texas state champion monuments right out of Bearcat Stadium.
It's incredible.
It is a beautiful sight to see. But Grapevine Mustangs have a monument as well, and the pitcher Hudson Tooley will lead off here in the bottom of the second. Lolly Esquivel on the mound. Slightly open on his windup from the first base side of the rubber. And right when he comes set to begin his windup, Tooley calls time. Hudson Tooley wearing the bright neon yellow batting gloves. He looks at strike 1 there Almost looked like a cutter there from Esquivel. Or a two-seamer that worked its way back over the plate. He delivers pitch number 2 and gets a strike.
Good curveball right there, just froze Thule.
Setting him up here on the 0-2 count.
That might actually be a slider. He's got a curveball that's a notch slower. That was a hard breaking pitch.
High fly ball, deep left field. But Goldstein hustles back, and he's going to make the catch. Thule barreled it up pretty good, being the cleanup hitter, but the speedy Goldstein got back to it and caught it right in front of the warning track.
Yeah, he hit that pretty well. He was only Zach was only a step or two in front of the track and made Zach go back at least 30, 40 feet to get that one.
Jake Bearden will step in, third baseman, number 1. Batting 5th, he'll swing and foul off the first pitch to the right side.
I noticed Bearden is a senior, but they've got several players in their starting lineup that are underclassmen, so things look bright for the Bulldogs' future.
Off-speed pitch from Esquivel, low in the zone. Even up the count 1-1. Mustangs scored 1 in the top of the first and lead 1-0. There's a called strike on the fastball. Esquivel ahead in the count. Swing and a miss. Beautiful off-speed pitch to strike out Bearden for the second out.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure the K-meter is working, but that was Lolly's first strikeout of the day.
Number 2 is hot. Stay on that shot for a little bit, yeah.
That pitch for a strike, 0-1 count. Ground ball, third base. And an easy throw over for the third out. Quick 1-2-3 inning for Lolly Esquivel.
Nice play right there by Colin Park. We've talked about it. He typically plays second base, but with Lolly on the mound, he slides over to third base and has done a great job over there holding down the hot corner for the Mustangs.
Glad you said that because I looked up and I saw it was Colin Park, and it kind of caught me for a second. Wait a second. Colin Park, third base? Okay, got it.
Yeah. Yeah, the umpire's getting a Gatorade break here between innings. It is a little warm out there on the turf. We're up here in the press box and not quite as warm up here.
Definite warm weather wave. Humidity pretty thick. It's getting to be the time of year where a guy like me's got to take a couple of showers a day because we're always sweating.
Well,
Kason Parrish was the one who grounded out. He's starting catcher yesterday for the Bulldogs, playing third base today. That hit by the Bulldogs, only the third hit in the last 2 games, as the Esquivel brothers have held the Bulldogs scoreless through the first 9 innings of play.
Yeah, I was just looking around the bleachers. A fair amount of Mustang fans did make the trip, but hopefully for those of you who didn't make the trip, you're catching this game on Tradio right now.
Right fielder Brady Boozer will step in from the left side of the plate. Also has the oven mitt in the back right pocket. Maybe some sliding gloves or his fielding glove in the back left. Boozer wears the number 9, slightly open stance. Here's the pitch by Thule. Breaking pitch inside, called for a strike.
Interesting that Thule uses a blue glove out there on the mound. most of our Mustang defensive players also use blue gloves, except Lolly, when he goes to the mound, goes to a red glove. So Thule is also a fan of the blue glove.
That fastball misses everything and hits the backstop. The last time that happened, they called the batter for a swing, but not this time. We do have the gun up. We'll see if we can get some readings on the velocity. Hard to see here from the dugout or the press box.
Yeah, I don't know if they have it turned on for the visiting pitcher. Boy, that same curveball you're just freezing Brady with right there. It's a good curveball.
70-mile-per-hour curveball is. Thankfully, they have it on. Got a reading there. 1-2 count to the right fielder, Boozer. Gives a little wiggle. He's ready. That off-speed pitch over his head as it did not break. Evens the count out at 2-2.
It's a little worried about it might catch Brady's bat. Sometimes when you see a guy duck the pitch like that, his bat is still going to get a piece of it.
Thule with a kick. Here's the pitch way over the top on that fastball. That was so far out of the zone, the gun didn't even pick up a reading. So we have a full count, our first full count of the game. Boozer will step out, adjust his batting gloves. No pitch clock in high school baseball, folks. Only in the major leagues.
Pitchers are doing a good job, though, working quick.
College. Yes, they are very quick, and there's an inside pitch. Boozer will lead off the inning with a walk. And always good to get the leadoff hitter on and get to the top of the lineup with Luke Esquivel.
Next up for the Mustangs, number 1, Luke Esquivel.
Top of the lineup coming up here, Jeff. Do you see Coach Webster putting in some action here?
Well, he ran through some signs there, but I think he'll let Luke swing right here. Luke had 3 hits yesterday. Big hole on that right side. Yeah, he was swinging.
Superstar freshman. Pitching a gym yesterday, playing left field today. Has been an absolute tear as a leadoff hitter this season and a very tough out.
All of Luke's hits were to the right side yesterday, too, which just makes it more enticing to let him swing and try and hit that hole over there.
Boozer with a small lead off first. Here's the kick, the delivery, that breaking pitch in there for a strike. And Luke down 0-2 in the count.
Yeah, when Thule's been able to locate that breaking pitch for a strike, the Mustangs, for the most part, have just looked at it.
Thule ready. Looks at Boozer. Kicks, and he goes to first. And that ball gets away from the first baseman.
3. He may go 3 right here.
And yes, the umpire is
Here
pointing at the first baseman. And Boozer's going to get all the way to third as that ball got away from the first baseman on the pickoff attempt. It'll go down as an error against the pitcher. And while they were scrambling, Boozer got caught behind the first baseman, and that umpire had his hand out to the first baseman like if anything happened, he might have called interference there. But he would only got second. Gotcha. But he gets to third because we have some foul territory here. Not as big as the Brewer-Bear community, but lengthy enough for the speedy Boozer to get around. That fastball fouled straight back by Luke.
Good job battling right there. That was fastball up around the letters.
Mustangs threatening once again here in the top of the third inning. Already leading 1-0. Shut out the Bulldogs yesterday 5-0. No balls, 2 strikes on Luke Esquivel. Leadoff hitter. Here's the pitch. He hits a chopper right up the middle. And it gets through for a base hit. A single. And Esquivel's going to go for 2. He's in there.
Oh, overslid.
Wow. Slow chopper with eyes finds its way between the second baseman and the shortstop who looked like they were there to catch that slow chopper. It gets through to center field. Luke Esquivel, being such a great athlete, tries to get 2 out of it because it was a slow roller and the center fielder was playing so deep.
Well, I love the aggression right there to try and get to second base, and he was there, just overslid the bag, and I'm sure he came in so hard on that slide, and the Mustangs don't typically play on turf, so I think sometimes we're still trying to figure out exactly where to start our slides, because we've seen that happen to us here in the playoffs a couple of times where we slide and just overslid the bag.
First hit of the game for the Mustangs. Zach Goldstein steps in, center fielder. He looks at 2 balls. The second fastball was over his head, and I think that's the third pitch we've had hit the backstop, Jeff.
Yeah, Thule's been a little erratic, but again, I mentioned pregame that just looking back at the Bulldogs' last couple games, Thule has not been a pitcher in those box scores. So interesting that Coach Martin goes with Thule today, but I truly believe it's because he's a left-hander, and again, the Mustangs lineup is a little left-handed heavy.
Well, we had the lefty-on-lefty matchup yesterday, as we know that Bulldog lineup had some lefties. And Luke took care of him in the shutout. Martin having a word with his starting pitcher and catcher on the mound, calming him down here.
Don't see any activity down there in the Bulldogs bullpen, so going to stick with Thule here.
2 runs, 1 hit, no errors for the Mustangs. No runs, 1 hit, 2 errors now for the Wylie Bulldogs. We're ready to go after the mound visit. Thule comes set, Goldstein in the box. 2-0 count, here's the pitch. That off-speed pitch in there for a strike.
That's really been his best pitch so far, is that curveball. And again, Zach just looked at it.
And another fastball over everyone's head to hit the backstop, the 4th one we've seen this inning from Thule.
Yeah, typically you would think the curveball is the tougher strike to throw, but Thule's been throwing that fastball a little erratic.
That one, he gets into the zone. Goldstein fouls it straight back off of his hands.
Boswell coming across to get the foul ball, so he feels good enough to do that.
It looks like he's
not on a sprint, but a slow jog.
His gait looks pretty good, though. Thule ready. Kicks. He delivers. And that gets away from the catcher. Goldstein will earn the walk. And Thule having trouble with his command here. That was his 50th pitch of the first 2 innings, 2 1/3 innings of work for Hudson. And that'll bring up Jarrett Boswell, first baseman. Walked in his first at-bat and then got to third. Rolled his ankle, got it taped. He's back in the game. Gutting it out. As they say, Jarrett's tough as nails. He looks at a called strike from Thule, that off-speed pitch, Jeff.
Yeah, interesting here as you watch Jarrett get in the box to see if that ankle bothers him at the plate.
The pitch from Thule, fastball. Fouled straight back.
Had a good cut right there. Jarrett doesn't take a big stride or leg kick, so not a whole lot of pressure coming on that front foot.
The pitch from Thule. There's a foul ball that he fouls off his foot.
Yeah. I think it is his right ankle too, isn't it? I mean, so
giving him some time. Good umpire there. And Boswell have some time.
As they say, add an insult to injury right there with a foul ball off your foot.
Well, they call it hardball for a reason. And sometimes that baseball can leave some bruises to the boys of summer. Boswell's ready. Thule getting his signs from the catcher, Gay. Comes set. Takes a look at Goldstein. Comes to the plate, swing and a miss. Gets the fastball by Boswell, the high fastball to strike him out. His third strikeout of the game for Thule.
Two outs here for Lally, and might try and steal a base here. I'm interested to see how Brady Gay, who we know has a good arm, I've got to believe that arm is tired after he threw about 100 pitches yesterday. This is interesting to see a pitcher who comes back the next day behind the plate, because there's really that's the second most stress you're going to place on an arm.
And there goes the runner, Goldstein making a break for it, sliding in, got him.
Wow.
And Gay throws him out on the low pitch.
I thought Zach had beat the ball to the bag, but I think he overslid again, and he got him on the overslide. So I mentioned earlier, the Mustangs don't play on turf at home, and we still seem to be adjusting here to this where to slide. And Coach Webster's going to come out and get an explanation there.
Second time this inning or this game, the Grapevine Mustangs have overslid a bag and been tagged out as Goldstein had that bag stolen. But that's the third out of the top of the third. The Bulldogs will come to bat here in the bottom of the third. Down 2-0 here in game number 2 of the regional semifinals.
Yeah, would have liked to see the Mustangs get more right there, but now we're sitting on a 2-0 lead, and the pitching for the Mustangs has been so dominant that it almost feels like more.
Let's see what's happening around the playoff world here in the UIL Championships. We have a lot of games starting at 1 or noon today. We gave you an update earlier on the Aledo matchup. Yesterday, we were talking about earlier, Colleyville Heritage from the same district whooped up on the El Paso Americas High School 10-2. They were playing at noon today. And game 1 is actually in a final. The El Paso Americas, the Trailblazers, come back and win game 2 5-4. And it looks like Colleyville Heritage and El Paso Americas will play game 3 probably about right now.
Yeah, they started that game at noon, so they got a head start on us here.
Nothing like going to a game 3 elimination game here in the playoffs for the regional semifinals. Of course, even though Colleyville Heritage, part of the GISD, members of the same district, GCISD, thank you very much.
Got Blaze Ruffin at the plate for the Bulldogs.
We're definitely cheering for our DFW folks.
Again, that was that pitch. Looked like it's a little off the corner, but it's been a strike so far in this series.
Esquivel with the pitch, that one outside. 1-2 count. Here on the center fielder, Blaze Ruffin. What a cool baseball name. He, too, has the bleached blonde hair coming out from under his white helmet. There's the pitch. And a swing and a miss. Lolly Esquivel gets the strikeout on the off-speed pitch.
Yeah, Lolly's second strikeout of the day right there.
Jake Bearden and Ruffin both striking out for the 2 strikeouts for the Bulldogs. That'll bring up the other Thule, the designated hitter.
Easton Thule at the plate.
Another great baseball name, as we know very well, the Eastern brand.
Yeah, we've talked about that before. The Green Easton made a comeback, but he's not swinging one. He's got a Marucci bat, I can see.
The pitch from Esquivel, that fastball in there. Makes the count 2-1 to Easton Thule.
What is he hitting on the gun?
And there's a ground ball right at Ray. It's short. He'll come up with it. Throw over to first for the routine out. And 2 outs in the inning for the Bulldogs.
Nice play right there by Connor. We've seen that all season from Connor.
Landon Stone will step in, the 9th batter in the lineup and right fielder for the Abilene Wylie Bulldogs. Lolly Esquivel cruising through his first 2 2/3 innings of work, just like his younger brother yesterday. And there's a line drive up the middle, but Ray's going to cut it off. Running throw, out. What a play by Connor Ray, the all-world shortstop for the Mustangs. That'll be the 3rd out in a quick 1-2-3 inning and another efficient inning from an Esquivel pitcher as Grapevine Mustangs are going to come to bat here in the top of the 4th, leading 2-0.
Yeah, much like his brother yesterday, Lolly's been very efficient with his pitch count, only at 27 pitches now here through 3 innings. So on the flip side, Thule has already thrown 56 pitches, so more than double the number of pitches that Lolly has thrown, and certainly always important, but on a day that's a little warm, even more important. So I still hear the ambient.
Oh, okay. We didn't have it. We didn't have that ambient muted. In the top of the 3rd, in Iowa Park, Aledo now with a 7-1 lead over Amarillo High, on their way to a 2-game sweep. We'll be checking in on that Argyle-Lubbock Cooper score.
I have Lolly leading off here for the Mustangs, and he was at the plate on the caught stealing at second base.
So he'll get to step in there.
Hitting .435 now on the season. I think that is probably a little higher because he is coming off a 2-hit night last night.
In the bottom of the 3rd, Argyle Eagles lead Lubbock Cooper 3-0. Hudson Thule ready to deliver the first pitch. Inside pitch that goes for a ball, gets away from the catcher, Brady Gay.
Flags are still favoring left to right wind.
Good slider there from Thule. Getting Esquivel to swing right over the top of it.
They're definitely playing Lolly deep in the outfield.
Respecting his pop. And there's the curveball from Thule. Esquivel not thinking about that pitch. Looks at it for a strike, and it's a 1-2 count.
Yeah, that's definitely been his best pitch. He's got us looking at least 10 of those so far today.
Tries it again, but leaves it up top. That'll even the count. 2-2, his 60th pitch of the contest for Hudson Thule. Two-two pitch. Lolly swinging, fouls it straight back.
Oh, right. Yeah, I mentioned earlier his pitch count is high for the 4th inning. He being Thule, he's now at 62 pitches.
He'll bounce that pitch in there. And we have a full count to Lolly Esquivel. That pitch low. Lolly earns the walk. He'll run down, touch first base, and most likely get a courtesy runner, being the starting pitcher today. And there he is. Number 22 comes in to run for Lolly.
That's Connor McDermott, my bad. I've stuck on the UFC guy.
Yes, but still a great name. Gianni Corral, starting catcher, will step into the plate. Batting from the right side. Squaring around, showing bunt. Pick off over to first. McDermott slides back in. First baseman, number 1, Jack Bearden. He was playing third base yesterday. He's over at first today.
Yeah, the catcher yesterday, Parrish, is at third base today.
That pitch inside. A 2-0 count to Gianni. He did not square and show bunt on that pitch.
Squares early here.
Thule with a long look. Fastball called for a strike. Gianni pulled back. Right as that fastball came across. I think I saw 83 on the gun. Don't quote me on that. My eyes not as good these days.
That sounds about right.
That curveball way up top. Gay fakes a throw down to first, but it's a 2-1 count. Nobody out. Top of the fourth. Mustangs lead 2-0. The catcher, Gianni Corral, at the plate. McDermott, the courtesy runner for Lolly at first, and there's a pitch from Thule. It's down. And we have a 3-1 count to Gianni. Hitter's pitch.
I think the guys in the booth next door may be eating taco casa again. I smell it.
Now I'm really distracted. Hitter's count. Here's the pitch from Thule. Fastball. Line drive into right field. Base hit for Gianni. McDermott will stop at second base as the throw comes in, and the second hit of the game for the Mustangs.
Yeah, Connor had to make sure that line drive cleared the infield, so didn't get a great break on the ball, but that's just good base running right there. You can't get doubled up if that second baseman is able to get to that ball, and he was only a couple feet away from it.
Third baseman Colin Park will step in. Nobody out. Runners on first and second. Park struck out his first time up.
I would expect a bunt right here with nobody out and runners at first and second. It'd be great to move 2 guys into scoring position.
Park hitting over 370 for the year, one of the toughest outs in the lineup. He's ready. Thule takes a look. Pitch number 70 right here, and it's bunted. Back to the pitcher. Thule's going to go to 1, and it's out. Sack bunt successful there, Jeff, from Colin Park.
Yeah, pitcher fielded it, but Colin took enough off of that ball to where he didn't have a play at third base.
I got distracted there because the second baseman ran over to cover first, but the first baseman stayed home, and then the second baseman hits the ground right in front of him to let the throw come in.
Yeah, that was odd. You don't typically see that.
If I'm a coach, I might be losing my mind. The Bulldogs are going to try to cut the run here with 1 out and a runner on third. Thomas Powers stepping in, 0 for 1 today. Boy, ever since you said taco casa, that's all I can think about.
It's
all
like
that
they're
delicious,
blowing a fan to torture us over here.
that delicious shredded cheese on top. And that deluxe taco. All right, let's get back to baseball here.
Yeah, let's hope Thomas is more focused than we are at the moment.
Swing and a miss at strike 1 there. Down in the count 0-1.
Definitely like to see him drive something to the outfield here.
Here's the pitch from Thule. It's outside for a ball. Blaze Ruffin once again playing deep in center field. Right fielder also deep, respecting the pop of the mighty Grapevine Mustangs.
Thomas did strike out in this last at bat, but they may be careful with him here with a base open.
And he fouls that one straight back.
Yeah.
Very aggressive secondary lead on second base from Duong.
He got a good pitch to hit right there and just fouled it straight back. That's actually, Derek is into.
I said his name right, Duong, that's right?
Yeah, Derek Duong, yep.
Powers ready, 1-2 count. He steps out to call time with the fielders playing up on the grass. That's allowing Duong to get a really strong secondary lead. So a single here could score 2 pretty easily. Tooley to the plate. Off-speed pitch up high. Evens the count at 2-2.
Got a chance to meet Derek on Wednesday. He was one of this year's C.J. Knipper Memorial Scholarship recipients, and a very impressive kid. Going to do big things in the future. Going to be a dentist going to UT.
The pitch by Tooley, that fastball up high. And Powers works the count full.
Thomas has a tendency to go deep in these counts. Let's see if he can get base hit ball 4 right here.
Full count, 1 out. Runners in scoring position. Here's the pitch. Breaking pitch. It's a ball. The shortstop and the fans are not happy, but that's a walk with the base open. And the bases are loaded for the Mustangs with only 1 out here in the top of the 4th.
Yeah, you can see the Bulldogs wanted that call right there as Coach Martin comes out.
He asked the umpire if that pitch was up, and the umpire said yep, and Coach Martin shook his head in disgust.
Yeah, he's going to make a change right here, and apparently someone already in the game is going to come to the mound because there was no activity in the bullpen.
Hudson Tooley will come out after 74 pitches and only 1 out here in the top of the 4th.
Having trouble picking up the number. Okay, let me go to their roster and
yes. Number 6 will be the shortstop. Colby Garrett will come in to pitch.
Well, that makes sense. I knew it was someone in the game already.
Yes, Colby has the high knee look today with the purple socks or stirrups. Right-handed pitcher completing his warm-ups.
Honestly, looks a lot like yesterday's starting pitcher, Brady Gay. Tall and slender right-hander.
Hudson Tooley's line, 3 1/3 innings pitched. Gave up 2 hits, 2 runs. Struck out 4. And he is responsible for all 3 runners on base.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll have C-Ray coming to the plate here with the bases jammed and chance to blow this one open.
First time this season that the Bulldogs have been able to face a top 25 ranked team in the state of Texas.
You know, yesterday when we did the comparison of the teams, I was surprised that the Bulldogs were not ranked with a 25-6-1 record, but obviously I guess the pollsters didn't feel their level of competition warranted a ranking, because typically a record that good would put you in the top 25.
Agreed. Very much agreed. I, too, was shocked when my statistician told me that stat as we looked it up last night.
Okay. Trey informed me we only looked at the top 10, so it's possible they were ranked but just not in the top 10.
Good stuff. Bases loaded of Mustangs. Ray at the plate, the shortstop. He almost got a hold of one yesterday that left the park and was just foul. He looks at a ball outside from the new pitcher, Colby Garrett.
Yeah, Gay tried to frame that one and bring it back in there, but just outside of today's strike zone, which has been a little wide at times.
Garrett ready. There's the pitch. Fly ball to straightaway center.
Should be deep enough to score. Let's see if we come 3.
Ruffin will catch it, and he's going to come in. First baseman will cut it off over by third. And we have a tag up and a sac fly RBI to make the score 3-0. Grapevine.
Yeah, good job right there by Connor. Drive that ball to center field deep enough to score easily from third. I actually thought we might try and tag from second, but no reason to chance a third out at third base.
Brady Boozer will step in, right fielder, number 9. Runners on first and second. 2 outs in the inning. 1 run in, top of the 4th. This is game number 2 of a 3-game series here at the regional semifinals. Gay will fake a throw down to second base.
I noticed Garrett has a couple of different arm slots. He's coming over the top occasionally, but that pitch that Connor hit was actually a sidearm pitch. So let's see if he drops down right here on Brady.
Mr. BC has a lot of respect for crafty pitchers. And that, my friend, is craftiness. There he drops down and gets a called strike on the sidearm fastball.
Yeah, he's throwing that from one side of the pitcher's rubber. He came way across his body right there and caught the inside corner.
And it's much lower than any kind of 3/4 arm slot. It's not quite all the way submarine, but
he's at like waist level.
Yes. Spins, tries a pickoff move at second. Duong will slide back in safe. Duong on second, Powers on first. Boozer at the plate. 1-1 count, 2 outs in the inning. 1 run already in. Here's the pitch from Garrett. And there's a high fly ball to right. Stone will camp under it and catch the third out. But Grapevine scores a run by loading him up and getting the sac fly RBI from Ray. And to the 5th. Sorry, the bottom of the 4th we go. Mustangs lead 3-0.
I thought that ball hit by Brady was hit better than it actually was. He kind of got it on the handle, but he was right on time and just didn't catch it on the sweet spot of the bat. So very efficient use of 2 hits by the Mustangs to scratch for 3 runs. So have now scored in 3 out of 4 innings. Yeah, and thanks again to Action Logistics, who brings us that camera out there in center field that's providing that home plate shot that is really a great view. You get a good idea of what that batter sees from that pitcher, and just an excellent camera view.
Well, the Graham Steers baseball program, they have a big, beautiful scoreboard just to the left of the hitter's eye, left center field to the right of the 361 sign. Interbank is the sponsor at the bottom of that scoreboard. Well, the scoreboard has a beautiful platform built to the bottom of it, which is perfect to set up a camera on. So kudos to the construction engineers for this complex, because it makes broadcasters and video producers like myself very happy when there's camera wells to be used and already built into the facility.
That is a much bigger batter's eye than we typically see at the high school level, and I tend to believe the Mustang hitters like it, because we have hit well out here, it seems, in every game we've played. And I'm dating back to last year.
Lally Escoval back out on the mound. Bottom of the 4th. 2 strikeouts already. His first pitch swinging is a fly ball out to Boozer, who's going to take about 5 or 6 steps back but catch it up over his head for the out.
Yeah, that was the Bulldogs' leadoff hitter right there, Regala.
Bulldogs do have 1 hit in the game. No runs, 1 hit, 2 errors. And the pitcher, Colby Garrett, starting shortstop for Abilene Wylie. He'll look at a strike on the first pitch from Escovel.
Good curveball right there. You got him foul off.
That curveball hit at 81 miles per hour. Is that right?
Wow. Well, I didn't think
maybe a slider
was coming that quick.
Man, that was nice. I know it. 0-2 count on Garrett. The pitch by Esquivel is up top. 1-2 count. Lolly comes set. High leg kick. Fastball misses inside.
Yeah, that was close.
Very close. We've seen that call go a couple of different ways depending on which side of the box the batter is on. 2-2 count. Here to Colby Garrett. He has the only hit of the day for the Bulldogs. He fouls that pitch off. Umpire correcting the board. It is a 2-2 count, not 3-2 as the scoreboard has. Of course, on our program, we've got it correct. Tradio in business. And there's a well-hit ball to left center. Goldstein and Luke Esquivel come together, and Zach Goldstein calls off Luke to catch that high fly ball in left center. They're talking about it, literally standing side by side, almost reminiscent of Adrian Beltre and Elvis Andrews back in the Ranger days when they would catch those high pop-ups right next to each other.
Fortunately, Luke pulled up at the last minute there because he's going to win that collision against Zach.
2 outs in the inning. Tomlin swinging first pitch, and he lines a single into center field. The second hit of the day for Abilene Wylie.
Yeah, good solid single right up the middle right there. But I started to say our outfielders are playing significantly more shallow than the Bulldog outfielders.
Starting pitcher, Hudson Tooley, now stepping in. I didn't see where Tooley went into the field. And that pickoff attempt gets away from the first baseman, Boswell. And Tomlin will move up 90 feet, the first error committed by the Mustangs on that pickoff attempt.
Yeah, fortunately that ball bounced towards the Mustangs' dugout rather than down the line like it happened earlier to the Bulldogs, and that base runner is only able to advance to second. Good pitch right there, breaking pitch.
Wow, I just got a really good update.
Yeah.
No balls, 2 strikes to Tooley. Esquivel ready, fastball. That's outside for a ball.
Yeah, Gianni slid way out there off the plate. Lolly hit the mitt where it was, but no offering right there from Tooley. See some of the Mustangs' younger players in attendance today.
2-strike pitch. Lolly kicks and delivers. Slow, off speed, outside. Doesn't get the call, 2-2.
Yeah, we're trying to stretch that zone out there, but it's tightened up a tad.
Two count. Here's the pitch. Lolly spins around, fakes the pickoff attempt. Tomlin, not fooled, quickly back to the bag with Ray right behind him. Hudson Tooley at the plate, ready. Esquivel taking a long look at Tomlin. Playing a cat and mouse game. There's the pickoff throw to Ray, but he's back in there.
Bit of an awkward throw right there by Lolly. He didn't really turn and spin. He just kind of set his feet and threw in an awkward position. Fortunately made a throw on the mark, and that ball doesn't get away.
Ground ball by Tooley, foul down the first base line. Count will remain at 2-2 with 2 outs.
One thing I did notice on that pickoff attempt that got away from Jarrett is he was pretty slow moving to get that ball. So be great to close out the Bulldogs here in Game 2 and give Jarrett some time off his feet.
Give him time to put that ankle in an ice bucket for the next 3 days, huh?
Definitely.
Another pickoff attempt at second base. Tomlin slides back in safe on the tag by Ray. 2-2 count here, 2 outs to Hudson Tooley at the plate. Lolly trying to finish the inning right here in the top of the 4th with a 3-0 lead. The kick delivers. Swing and a miss. He strikes out Tooley for the 3rd out. And the Grapevine Mustangs in control, leading 3-0. The Esquivel brothers have absolutely dominated the lineup for the Abilene Wylie Bulldogs, only giving up 4 hits in the last 2 days.
Good high fastball right there by Lolly to get that strikeout. Quite honestly, we're used to him averaging a strikeout or more per inning. He's a tad under that today. We know in his last outing he had, I believe, 8 Ks in 6 innings. So maybe finding his strikeout pace a little later today than usual.
Good baseball action that we're getting here. Some info from the Colleyville Heritage El Paso Americas series. They, of course, are in Game 3 right now. But Game 2 this morning, Colleyville Heritage had a 4-1 lead with 2 outs in the 7th.
Wow.
The Americas come back to win 5-4 against Job Reed, who was the pitcher for Colleyville. Americas came back in Game 2 and won 5-4 to force Game 3. But they came back with 2 outs in the 7th, down to their last out. That's good baseball right there.
It is good baseball, but I got to tell you, just a gut punch for Colleyville to lose one like that. Almost though better that you get right back after it today rather than have to sleep on that, because those are the kind that keep you up at night to lose a game like that.
You got that right. Of course, cheering for our brethren, Colleyville Heritage, to keep the winning streak going for the DFW Metroplex schools. Top of the 5th inning here, left fielder Luke Esquivel, and leadoff hitter will step into the box for the Mustangs. Colby Garrett back on the mound. He's over the top for that first pitch. It's low for a ball. Final line on Hudson Tooley, 3 1/3. 2 hits, 3 runs, 1 earned, 4 strikeouts. Threw a total of 75 pitches. He did walk 5.
Yeah, Luke picks up his second hit of the day right there on a ground ball through that right side.
Good piece of hitting by Esquivel there. And once again, a leadoff runner on for the Mustangs to lead off an inning.
Yeah, back-to-back multi-hit games for Luke, and I believe if I go back to the Saturday game against Joshua, he had multiple hits that day.
Center fielder Zach Goldstein hitting .304 on the year, home run yesterday.
Probably going to be asked to lay down another bunt here. Let's see.
Pickoff attempt at first by Garrett. Luke not going anywhere.
Did have a successful sacrifice earlier in the game. Actually laid the groundwork for the Mustangs' first run of the game with that sacrifice bunt. No, he is swinging.
Called strike on the sidewinder fastball from Garrett.
There you go. That's a frame. 1, you're up.
Garrett takes a look at first, comes set. There's the kick, sidewinder pitch, tries to go right back to the same spot, but nothing doing. It's a 1-1 count to Goldstein.
Yeah, they are playing Zach to pull out there in the outfield. The right fielder's definitely shading the line, and well, he squared the bunt, but took it for a strike.
3 straight pitches in the same area. 2 of them called for strikes, 1 of them for a ball. Let's see if he tries to stay away and see if Zach Goldstein stays back and goes the other way with it. Oh, and there's Luke going. A pickoff move. They have him in a pickle between first and second. First baseman will run over
Wow,
and they call him safe. Luke Esquivel runs around the tag of the first baseman, so he throws to the catcher. He slides in, and they call him safe. I thought they were about to call him out for coming out of the baseline. That was a pretty big banana around a tag. But it looks like Mustangs are about to get the benefit of the doubt, even though Coach Martin's going to come out and talk about it with that field ump.
Yeah, and I got to admit, I don't know exactly how you define out of the baseline. Okay, our resident umpire, Trey Bell, tells me it's 3 feet outside the arc. He may have of your path. Then
starting pitcher Hudson Tooley is now the first baseman. And they had Luke picked off in a pickle. Oh, and then the umpire, sorry, they are going to have an umpire meeting right now, all 4 of them getting together.
Yeah, you typically don't see calls like this change, but we'll see if the crew chief decides to put his foot down and call him out.
Well, wish we could have shown you a replay, but let me tell you, that was a fun little pickle there. They absolutely had Luke Esquivel dead to rights. He puts his foot in the ground, jukes the first baseman right out of his ankles. And as the first baseman spun and tried to get the ball to the catcher, Gay, who was covering first, Esquivel slides in safe.
It just occurred to me yesterday after the game, I saw 4 well-dressed men. They stick with the call and say he's safe, but after the game yesterday, I saw 4 well-dressed men on the field. I thought maybe they were out here touring the facility. It just occurred to me that those were the umpires, not prospects for a new stadium.
Interesting.
Yeah, the first base umpire is the one that I actually recognize.
Yep, Coach Martin coming back out, having a talk with the first base umpire still after that umpires meeting. So Coach Martin has come out, argued the call, went back to the bench, and now he came back out. He is not a happy camper, Jeff.
Yeah, and just spending a little bit of time with him yesterday and before the game today. He's a pretty low-key guy, but obviously felt like he had a strong case to make right there.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Goldstein ready. They'll try the pick-off a move for the 4th time to get Luke at first. He's back. Garrett pitching quickly, goes back over to first.
Yeah, Luke is taking a very conservative lead. I don't think he's wanting to find himself in a pickle again. He just broke early there. I don't know if it was a straight steal.
Fastball up high for a ball will even the count at 2-2. It's only the 12th pitch of the reliever. And starting shortstop, Colby Garrett. He comes set, working quickly. There's the pitch. Fly ball into short center. Here comes the center fielder. And Ruffin, sliding on one knee, makes the catch right in front of the steer's nose. Loses his hat in the prospect in the event, and Esquivel back to first.
Yeah, I started to say that may fall, but nice sliding catch right there by Ruffin to get that out, first out of the inning for the Bulldogs.
First baseman Jarrett Boswell will step in, 371 on the year. And he's definitely got some bumps and bruises after this game today. Garrett ready. 1 out in the inning. His first pitch, a ball outside.
Yeah, we mentioned that Jarrett hit a home run here last year. It'd be great to see him hit another one so he didn't have to go full speed around the bases.
Another pickoff move to first. Luke only 2 feet off the bag. He barely even had a lead. But after that pickle, they are concerned. Brady Gay has already shown he can throw out runners from the plate. Strong arm senior behind the plate. That pitch, a ball. 2 balls, no strikes to the first baseman, Boswell. There's another pickoff move. The 8th pickoff attempt of Luke Esquivel at first. The pitch from Garrett. And there's a line drive into the right center field gap. That's down. Esquivel, first to third easily. Esquivel, did I say Esquivel? Boswell with a beautiful single to right center. No, I didn't. I said Esquivel, Trey. Tell me, Jeff.
You said Escobar. Escobar. Either way, nice single right there by Jarrett to move Luke over into third base with only one out, setting up Lolly here to drive in his brother.
Solid piece of hitting from Boswell. And I thought for a minute that ball was going to get through and get to the wall, but the outfielders cut it off. There was no way Jarrett was going to try to leg out a double today.
Yeah, they did a good job keeping that one from going to the wall.
Lolly Esquivel in the box, looking for more runs with only one out here in the inning. He looks at a strike from Garrett.
Yeah, Lolly thought that one was outside, and I might agree with him. Don't see Jarrett running here. He had a very small lead there and hops back to the bag.
Garrett working quickly on the mound, but also with quick throwovers to first. Comes set. Here's the pitch. Fouled back by Esquivel. 3 runs, 4 hits for the Grapevine Mustangs. Top of the 5th.
2 of those hits have come in this inning.
Colby Garrett in relief on the mound. He comes set. Take a look at Luke at third to the pitch. And it's fouled back to the screen by Lolly.
That's a good shot. One's up. That's one on the plate. Very good.
Runners at first and third for the Mustangs. Boswell at first. He literally had a one-step lead, and Garrett goes over to first, and Boswell just lifts his leg up and steps on the bag. And again, he hadn't even come off the bag, and we go right back over there.
Yeah.
Garrett playing a little cat and mouse game with the Mustang base runners. Comes set, the pitch to the plate, and a high drive into left field. The left fielder going back, Tomlin, right in front of the track will make the catch, but Luke is going to scamper home for the sac fly RBI. It's 4-0. Grapevine Mustangs.
Good job right there by Lolly with 2 strikes to drive that ball deep to left and bring his brother in for that 4th run.
Breeze held it up just a little bit, and Tomlin made the catch right in front of the warning track, so Luke did not have to run very hard while tagging up to score. Gianni Corral stepping in. 2 outs in the inning. Boswell still at first. And he hits the first pitch he sees. Fly ball into the gap. It's down. Right fielder will catch it on one bounce.
Oh, wow.
Boswell
really
running
struggling.
real slow to get around, and he's going to slide into third. Limping on one leg. And, yes, his ankle is talking to him now as it's swelling up. And
it was painful to watch him run right there. I honestly might be a good idea to get him out of the game after this half inning.
Gianni's going to get a courtesy runner at second base after his double. 3rd hit of the inning for the Mustangs. It'll bring up Colin Park, number 5. Sidewinder fastball from Garrett in there for a strike. I was wondering if we'd see a pinch runner there, seeing him pull up like that.
Yeah, they didn't pinch run for him earlier, and that would have been an option.
No balls, 2 strikes. Correction, 1 strike. No balls, now 2 strikes on the called second strike from Garrett. He's ahead in the count. 22 pitches into his relief work. Pitching out of the windup now. The kick, the delivery, and a chopper right back out to the mound. He's going to go to first for the final out. But the Mustangs do damage. Adding on another run here in the top of the 5th. They lead it over the Bulldogs 4-0.
Yeah, just looking at the box score, good execution today by the Mustangs. 2 sac flies. Get that runner over to third base with less than 2 outs, and great job of getting that runner in. We struggled with that in one of the Joshua games, and certainly have made up for that today. Have executed in that spot every time we've been there today, when that is a runner at third base with less than 2 outs.
I would agree, just outstanding baseball execution. And if you're going to be the champs and you're going to stay at number one, you've got to win at all facets. You've got to play a little small ball. You got to play a little manufacturing runs and getting them in. Get them on, get them over, get them in is what I used to hear from high school coaches. This is high school, son. We're not swinging away.
Yeah, just looking over to first base, and Jared is going to stay in the game, but be interested to see where he positions himself. He's going to have to position himself close to that bag because he's just not going to cover a lot of ground over there to take a throw from an infielder.
You know, on that double by Gianni, poor Boswell having to run there. Most base runners for Grapevine probably would have scored on that.
He was one-legging it from second to third.
He was
and honestly, it was a close play at third. So, yeah, he's definitely in pain.
Feeling it.
So just trying to tough it out. And
first baseman will step in. Beard lead off for the Bulldogs. Only 4 hits in the 2 games, and he barrels up the first ball and hits it right at Goldstein. Takes about 3 steps back and catches it chest high.
Zach gets good jumps on balls. It's rare that he isn't moving in the right direction right as that ball leaves the bat. Allows him to run down a lot of balls. Only had to go back a few steps there, but we've seen him cover a lot more ground than that.
Parrish, the third baseman, will step into the box. 0 for 1 today. Looks at a ball on the first pitch from Wylie. In the patented slow short Lolly Esquivel windup. One of the smartest ball players you will find. Definitely knows the ins and outs of the cat and mouse baseball game. Kicks, delivers that ball as a strike. 2-1 count.
Yeah, Lolly's at 43 pitches now, so really good pitch count here in the
high pop up.
5th.
Gianni looking for it, but Lolly calls him off, and he'll catch it. Pop-up foul behind home plate on the first base side, and Lolly Esquivel comes all the way from the pitcher's mound.
Yeah, not a play that you see except for at the high school level. Typically, you don't want your pitcher playing pop-ups like that, but when your pitcher is also a third baseman, it's a much easier play than that catcher right there.
Center fielder Blaze Ruffin, 0 for 1 today, steps into the box. Struck out his first time up. He'll swing and foul the first pitch back, one of the 3 strikeouts for Lolly this afternoon.
Had a good cut right there at that fastball.
Two outs in the inning. Lolly Esquivel cruising along and gets a swing and a miss on a beautiful off-speed pitch. In my head, I'm saying Esquivel, and I keep saying Esquivel over and over.
Yeah, great change of speed right there. Probably went from 90 to about 70 from that first to second pitch.
Been in absolute control today, and the efficiency by the Esquivel brothers these last 2 days is something to write about. If the Star Telegram friends are listening right now. Swing and a miss. Second time he's struck out Blaze Ruffin today. And the 4th strikeout for Esquivel will end the bottom of the 5th. To the 6th inning we go. The Grapevine Mustangs in control. Game number 2 of the regional semifinals here at Graham High School. You're listening to Mustang Baseball Live on Tradio. Crowd singing along here. It's a good old Sweet Caroline.
You got me unmuted? Oh, yeah, I'm hot.
You are hot. Trey Bell,
Tell you
everybody
what,
on the line, our
Wylie,
producer.
Wylie has got it going on today. He's going to be able to sit down and have a conversation with the force, and they're going to talk baseball, and they're going to talk pitching, and I don't know who's going to come out ahead in the discussion. Mustangs looking tight here, and we are in the top of the 6th.
You know, I've always wanted to sit in on some of those father and son conversations between Lolly Esquivel Sr.
Well,
and his two sons.
I want to see what the conversation is between Lolly and Luke.
Breaking down the old game.
Lolly Jr. All right, here we go.
Thomas Powers, the designated hitter, is going to step in for Grapevine. Colby Garrett came in relief, back out on the mound for the Abilene Wylie Bulldogs. Slow leg kick from Garrett there as he's playing a cat and mouse pitching game.
Thomas is
Fastball
pretty
for a
patient,
strike.
very patient hitter, BC. So he's going to look for a pitch that he can hit here.
Second pitch from Garrett outside evens the count at 1-1.
He had a huge hit against Brewer in that 11-inning game. He's the one who drove in Collin Park
to win the game. That's right. Was
Walk
watching
off.
it on Tradio.
Of course you were.
Ground
All right,
ball
look
up
at
the
that.
middle.
He's going to beat that. That's an infield hit. I guess it's not
Second
an
baseman
infield hit.
Parrish tried to backhand it, but unable to come up with it. And that's another hit for the Grapevine Mustangs. Their 6th hit of the day to bring up the right fielder, Boozer.
All right, so I got to get back to manage the cameras. I'm going to leave it with you. Actually, I'm going to hang in here until Jeff gets back.
I got you. Listen, manage
we're
your
good.
thing.
We're good. I got it.
Brady Boozer stepping in, scored a run, walked this game. And for the 3rd straight inning, the Grapevine Mustangs get the lead off.
We've had great camera guys on the broadcasts this week. I'm going to cut back to the center field cam, brought to you by Action Logistics. There's another throw over to first base, BC. They must think Thomas.
Colby Garrett definitely likes to
threat to
keep
run.
the
Superpowers
runner over, as Garrett has absolutely gone over to first a few times. Connor Ray in the box. He tries to take that slow off-speed pitch the other way, but fouls it off down the
We'll
third
catch
base
you on
line.
the rebound, BC.
It was great talking to you, Trey. Let me mute that next time you pull it off your head. Doesn't sound like I'm getting beat up in the press box. Connor Ray in the box. 0-1 count. Powers on first. Jeff Knipper sprinted up and down the stairs. There's a bunt. And he gets away first. Garrett throws it away. Another error for the Bulldogs. Ray's going to scamper down to second base. Powers all the way to third. And with nobody out, the Mustangs are cooking with runners in scoring position at second and third base.
Yeah, good bunt right there by Connor, but it should have been an out at first base. So going to be a error there on the throw, I believe.
Second error of the game for the Bulldog pitching staff. Hudson Tooley had an error in his first few innings, throwing one away at first base. Martin out here to talk to the home plate umpire, Jeff. Is he asking him about?
I'm wondering if he's saying the runner interfered with the fielder.
No, throw to first. He's supposed to be outside the line.
So then the throw to first on the bunt from the pitcher. Going to ask if he was inside that running line or lane, or not in the running lane, inside the baseline, and that would have been batter's interference, but they're going to have the second umpire meeting in the middle of the field here in game number 2 of this regional semifinal.
I feel like it was deceiving because the first baseman actually went into foul territory to try and play that ball, so it made it look like Connor was running inside the line when I don't think he was.
Well, after the meeting, no change. Everybody's safe. That error remains. And Grapevine Mustangs with runners at second and third. Powers at third, Ray at second, and Boozer at the plate.
Great job, or great opportunity right here for Brady to drive in some runs.
There's the pitch from Garrett outside for a ball. Ray, now that just like we had last inning, the fielders are playing up against the grass to cut the run. Ray getting a huge secondary lead off of second base. Single here by Boozer could put 2 on the board real quick. Here's the pitch. Off speed, looked like a changeup, swing and a miss by Brady.
Yeah, he definitely had his timing off right there. And as we saw earlier by Lolly, as well as Zach Goldstein, this is a situation where we're trying to drive something to the outfield.
That fastball in there for a strike. Boozer taking all the way, 1-2 count.
Outfielders are playing really deep out there.
Infielders on the grass, outfielders deep. There's some room. High fly ball, shallow left. Here comes the left fielder racing toward the line.
Boy, great play right there
He
by
makes
the left
the catch.
fielder.
Jace Tomlin with a running catch, sliding on one knee to make a catch on the shallow fly ball that I just said was a perfect place to hit a ball because of the huge space between your infielders and outfielders.
I actually thought we might try and tag there just because he had to go dive to catch that ball. You normally wouldn't try and tag on a ball that close, but the fielder had to get to his feet to throw. Would have been interesting to see if we do challenge him what happened.
Back to the top of the lineup, Luke Esquivel batting 2 for 3 on the day.
Yeah,
and he hits a high pop-up on the first pitch to the shortstop, Regala.
Right off the end of the bat, and again, I think it was that changeup had him way out in front of it.
Second out of the inning. Powers at third, Ray at second. Zach Goldstein.
Yeah, hate to miss this opportunity. Runners at second and third with nobody out, but we're down there on the 2 outs.
Back-to-back pitches. Mustang batters fly out and pop out. Goldstein looks at a ball up high on the first pitch from Garrett. The wind-up, sidewinder, and that's a strike. Garrett mixing it up. 2 over the top, 1 sidewinder, giving the hitters a couple of different eye levels to pick up today. Doesn't seem that Garrett has the high velo that you would see from the Esquivel brothers or even Brady Gay from yesterday, but definitely very crafty pitcher, changing his arm slot and changing the eyes of the hitter.
Yeah, he froze Zach too long right there. Zach gets a timeout, and we're going to start all over again here. Seems the catcher and pitcher are not on the same page right here. Took them a while to decide on a pitch, and they still had to conference it to come up with a decision.
Brady Gay reminding Garrett, nobody on first. That ball outside, 2-1 count. Middle infielders have backed up now to normal depth, almost further than any double play depth, but you don't have any double play here, so it looks like they're looking to concede the run, but it is 2 outs there, 2 out depth. My bad.
Yeah, the second baseman, Regala, has been playing out in the grass most of the day today, and he's not even as deep right here, but Zach's got good wheels, so you can't play too deep.
I literally forgot how many outs there were. It's
2 outs.
Dip, yes. There's a hard line drive down the line, and it's foul. Yep, that's why I was confused, but with 2 outs, I'd be back there too. Good breaking ball from Garrett. Goldstein swung over the top of it to make the count full, and then he fouls that one down the right field line. So full count, 2 outs. Big pitch here from Garrett to the plate. Goldstein, high pop-up, second baseman Parrish camped under it. And he'll retire the Mustangs, who had runners on second and third with nobody out. 2 pop-ups and a fly ball will get Garrett out of trouble. To the bottom of the 6th we go.
Yeah, missed opportunity there, but quite honestly, Lolly's been so dominant out on the mound that it doesn't feel like that big of a deal. Normally you would expect to come away with at least 1 run right there with runners at second and third and nobody out, but sometimes those things happen, and we just didn't didn't push the run across right there. Coach Webster's talked in prior series about Mustangs need to hit the ball down and make them the plays a little bit tougher, because those pop-ups on the infield are very easy to play.
Regional semifinals of the 2025 baseball championships.
Jim Warren, give me a shot of the second baseman for the Mustangs out there taking ground balls. I'm just going to put his name up on
The Wylie Bulldogs
bat.
had a by-district sweep of Plainview High School, and then went to a 3-game series. Played all 3 games, winning 2-1 over Del Valle, the correct pronunciation, which gets them to the regional semifinals here against the Mustangs. The Mustangs, of course, eliminated Brewer and Joshua. The Mustangs can hang on. They'll move on to the regional finals for like the 3rd or 4th straight year in a row.
This would be the 3rd straight year if we can finish this one off.
Easton Tooley will step into the box to lead off the bottom of the 6th. Lolly Esquivel on the mound.
Wally's pitch count's right at 50, so averaging 10 pitches an inning, and that's a base hit up the middle.
Tooley, first pitch swinging. The designated hitter. Easton singles right up the middle. Only the 3rd hit for the Bulldogs and 5th hit of the series for Abilene Wylie. Landon Stone will step in. I think somebody turned up the PA mic. He sounds much louder and clear.
Yeah, Stone's the number 9 hitter.
Breaking pitch from Lolly outside for a ball. Tooley on first. Here's the pitch. Fastball for a strike.
Great spot right there. Gianni sets up out on the corner, and Lolly just painted it right there to get that 2nd strike, I thought. Board showing 1-1. I thought that was.
As well. That ball outside. Now 2-1 count on Stone, right fielder. Not a very big lead for Easton at first. The pitch. And there's a barrel right to center field. Goldstein will move over 2 steps and catch it right under the ear of the Graham Steer in center field for the first out. Back to the leadoff hitter, the second baseman, Dylan Regala. He barreled one up last inning, but hit it right to Boozer in right field. Great block back there by.
I think Gianni was disappointed that the runner didn't break. He wanted to throw him out right there or throw behind him.
Easton Tully's getting about a 3-foot lead off of first base. It's not very far, but great off-speed pitch there from Lolly, swing and a miss. Throw the same pitch twice. Got one swing over the top by Regala. There's a hard grounder to short. Ray has a chance for 2. There's one over to first. Boswell pulled off the bag on the throw by the second baseman.
Throw by Will Newton right there. Just was up the line and pulled Jared off the bag. I wonder if his foot felt better, if he might have been able to hold the bag there. That might have had an impact, but the throw definitely was a good bit wide.
Go down as a fielder's choice. 2 outs in the inning. Bring up the pitcher, Colby Garrett. He'll swing at the first pitch, foul it off in the netting for strike 1. Bulldogs looking for their first run of the regional semifinal series. Esquivel comes set to the plate. That one in the dirt. Garrett not chasing. Regala getting a much bigger lead than Easton Tooley was.
Yeah, Regala's a leadoff hitter. Probably got better speed, but yeah, I'd be surprised down 4 runs if he runs here.
Garrett fouling off the fastball from Esquivel on the right field line. One-two count, 2 outs in the inning. Here's the pitch, and it hits him. Right in the elbow guard as that fastball tried to come inside, but it got a little too inside. And the Bulldogs will have 2 runners on.
Yeah, it's going to bring Tomlin to the plate. He made that nice diving catch out in left field. Part of the reason the runners got stuck at third for the Mustang in the last inning.
Looks like that hit by pitch was on the left arm of our Garrett.
Jace Tomlin at the plate for the Bulldogs.
Look at a ball outside. Number 2. Esquivel ready. Takes a look at second base. Regala back a step. That pitch up for a ball. 2-0 count to Tomlin.
2 outs here, so don't let him manufacture a big inning here with 2 outs.
Fastball called for a strike. 2-2 count, 2 outs to Tomlin, sporting the gray. You're right, 2-1. Gray batting gloves, but also has the neon yellow batting gloves in his back pocket. Swings and miss through a fastball from Esquivel.
Yeah, that's interesting.
No reading on the gun.
I guess the yellow ones are just for looks.
That could be his base running gloves, you know. Guys these days, they're very drippy, as they say. Full of a lot of riz, no cap. There's a ground ball, foul. A small chopper down the first base line. Gianni Corral, the cat-like quickness. I mean, he is ready to spring from behind the plate every time I have watched him play.
He gets out of there in a hurry. Here the Mustang shakers cranking up. Like to see Lally just take care of himself here with a strikeout.
2-strike pitch. Swinging, fouled off to the third base side. Keep the count at 2-2. Bulldogs haven't had many opportunities with runners in scoring position, and they have one here with a 2-2 count, 2 outs. The bottom of the 6th. That one fouled back. Another fastball by Esquivel.
Tomlin's making him work. Fouling off some pretty good pitches right there to stay alive. And, yeah, I kind of agree with Trey right here. I'd throw a breaking pitch just to show him a different speed. He seems to have that fastball timed up pretty well.
Crowd starting to make some noise. Time called at the plate by Tomlin.
Well, it looks like the flags out there have totally laid down, so we lost that breeze we had.
Lally ready. Takes a look at Regala. Here's the pitch. Swinging and another foul ball. 3 straight fouls by Tomlin at the plate.
That was that off-speed pitch right there we called for, and Tomlin just battles it off. Infielders here with 2 outs. Make sure you keep it on the infield, even if you can't make the play.
The pitch.
Got him.
Another foul ball at the plate. Tomlin just battling to stay alive in this at-bat.
Yeah, I wasn't sure he got a piece of that one, but he obviously did.
4 straight foul balls to battle in a row. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 runners on base, bottom of the 6th. Esquivel comes set. The kick. That pitch bounces in. Corral with a block. Nobody moving, and it's full.
Base runners will be moving right here on the pitch, so going to lose the force probably at second and third. Play should be at first base on the infield.
Here's the full count pitch.
Another foul ball.
High fly ball down the left field line, but foul into the parking lot. Jace Tomlin putting together a very strong at bat here, battling against Lolly Esquivel. 73 pitches in.
Yeah, it seems like we're about 10 pitches into this at bat.
Pitch number 11, Jeff. Here it is. Chopper, first base line. Boswell has it. Toss underhand to Esquivel covering, and that's the third out. Tomlin wasn't even running as he thought that might bounce foul.
Wow, he did us a favor there because Jarrett, was tender getting to that ball. Lolly did a great job getting over to cover the bag, but it might have been a close play if he gets down the line. He, really never hardly got out of the batter's box.
Well, that'll retire the Bulldogs in the bottom of the 6th as they leave 2 runners on. No runs. And to the 7th inning we go. The Mustangs will come to bat, and the Bulldogs will be down to their final 3 outs. Mustang Baseball Live right here on Tradio. Mr. BC, Jeff Knipper, bringing you the action in this regional semifinal. I just got an update. Division I, Aledo Bearcats run rule Amarillo High to move on to the regional finals in the Division I bracket, as they have started to really find their bats here late in the playoffs. See if we can get a Colleyville Heritage update here in the Game 3 of their matchup with El Paso Americas. DFW baseball teams showing a lot of competitive spirit and winning ball games, representing North Texas baseball. Looks like it's top of the 2nd. Colleyville leads 4-2 over the Trailblazers of El Paso Americas High School. That's Game 3. Winner of that game will move on.
Yeah, quick start with run production in that game, and that's what you tend to see in these Game 3s where the pitching gets thin and the hitters seem to take over. Jarrett Boswell leading off the top of the 7th here for the Mustangs.
See if Boswell could just hit a bomb so he doesn't have to run. And he swings at the first pitch and hits a high fly ball to center, but Ruffin will camp under it as a can of corn comes down. So he tried to go ahead and just hit it over the center field wall, but got a little under it. Lolly Esquivel will step in.
Lolly had that sac fly in his last at bat. I believe that was plated the Mustangs' 4th run.
Garrett. That fastball in there for a strike. That ball in there for a strike. Lolly down 0-2 in the count to Garrett. Let's see if Garrett will bring the sidewinder here. Over the top fastball, called strike 3. And he strikes out Lolly Esquivel on 3 straight pitches.
Yeah, I don't think Lolly liked the call, but at least that 3rd strike looked to be on the corner. The
Argyle Eagles have forced a Game 3, winning 3-0 over Lubbock Cooper. Game 3 of that series will begin at 4 p.m. today. And the winner of that series will play the winner of this series between Grapevine and Abilene Wylie Bulldogs.
Hasn't been much offense in that series last night. Lubbock Cooper wins 1-0 in 12 innings, and then today Lubbock Cooper gets shut out in game 2.
Giovanni calling time there as 2 quick strikes called at the plate. 2 quick outs in the inning for the Mustangs. Colby Garrett cruising here in the top of the 7th. 0-2 count on Gianni. Pitch fouled off to the right-hand side. Yeah, sounds like some pitching going on in that series, but another series that's going to go to a final deciding game 3. You know, high school baseball, game 3 is like game 7, right?
It's as good as it gets.
High fly ball back to center, but Blaze Ruffin catches it where he stands, and 3 quick outs for the Mustangs. But to the bottom of the 7th, Lolly Esquivel will come back out, try to complete this shutout, and send the Grapevine Mustangs on to the regional finals next weekend.
Yeah, Lolly's at 74 pitches right now, so well within his pitch allotment and has looked good getting there. In fact, last inning he threw 14 pitches to get those 3 outs, which is a little more than he'd been averaging per inning. But just a dominant performance so far from Lolly. Only 3 hits for the Bulldogs, and going to be tough to, when you're not walking anyone and the Mustangs play defense the way they have today, going to be tough to do much scoring with only 3 hits. Best case scenario, you're probably looking at a 3-0, 3 runs if you hit 3 home runs, which is a lot to ask at the high school level especially.
Against this level pitching, it's a whole lot to ask. Only 5 hits in the 2 games for the Bulldogs. No runs, 3 hits, 3 errors today. Grapevine with 4 runs, 6 hits, and 1 error. But I would agree, the efficiency has been absolutely key this series for the Esquivel brothers. If they have pounded the zone, challenged the Bulldogs to be hitters, and like you said, not getting it done.
Well, I just wanted to confirm something before I said it, but yeah, the Bulldogs don't have an extra base hit. So they had 2 hits last night. They had 3 today, but they've all been singles. So very tough to advance guys 1 base at a time when you're not getting help by the defense and the pitcher's not walking guys.
Lolly Esquivel, the junior pitcher, no stranger to the playoffs and playoff pressure.
Yeah, we do have a defensive change here. We've got Luke Esquivel moving to first base, and so that is going to, it's going to put Derek Duong out in left field right now. So otherwise, everything stays the same.
It's a good move by Coach to get Boswell out. His ankle's hurting him. Range would be effective. And first pitch swinging, Hudson Tooley pops it up. Duong's going to get his first action, and he catches the shallow fly ball for the first out. You know, they say the ball will find you, Jeff.
I was thinking the same thing. Got the new guy in the game, unlike Luke, who's been in the game, just changed position. The guy that comes in off the bench, first pitch, first ball put in play is a magnet to him. But nice job by Derek staying with that ball. I'm sure that sun is a little bit of a factor.
Bearden stepping in. Bulldogs down to their final 2 outs of their 2025 season. And Esquivel gets a called strike on the first pitch. It's one of the best pieces of advice I ever got from a Little League coach. You better always pay attention because the ball will find you.
This is Bearden at the plate, number 1.
Yep. 1-1 count. The pitch, he hits a soft fly ball down the right field line that's curving foul. Now down in the count 1-2. Big hill to climb for these Bulldogs here in the bottom of the 7th against the #1 team in the state of Texas for 5A. The pitch. Outside. 4 strikeouts on the day for Lolly. His brother Luke had 9, I think, total last night.
I believe he had 8.
8. All right, thank you for that. That one low. Make the count full. 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th.
Breaking pitch missed. I'd like to see him just go get him with a fastball right here.
The kick. Here's the pitch. Fastball.
That's what he did, but didn't get the call.
Left it below his knees, and that'll be a walk for Bearden.
First base on balls that Lolly has issued today.
And that'll bring up Kason Parrish.
Yeah, we got a pinch hitter, so let's go
What is
to
it?
our roster and see who we've got.
Number 19. Batting from the left side of the plate.
Luke Walker.
There we go. Luke Walker. The sophomore big left-hand hitter stepping in.
Got some bright yellow spikes on.
Not going to miss those.
Yeah, they're
Pitch is a strike.
easy to spot on that dark turf. There we go. Yeah.
Bearden at first on the walk. The pitch. Called strike. Esquivel ahead in the count 0-2 to the pinch hitter. Walker ready. Fastball called strike 3. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night from Lolly Esquivel.
Yeah, great job just going right at him. Tough to come in cold like that and see a good fastball and try and catch up with it, but just froze him, it looked like.
Landry Pate, number 4, coming to the plate here. Is that another pinch hitter?
Another pinch hitter, yes.
Down to the final out of the Bulldogs season. The pitch from Esquivel, low in the dirt for ball 1. Bearden at first. He walked. Lolly Esquivel, 85 pitches in. Looking to close it out and send Grapevine to the finals next weekend. Here's the pitch. Inside, ball 2.
He'll probably get a take sign here. Down 4 runs. They need base runners right now.
That pitch.
Yeah, he called it a strike.
Right.
We were fooled by that hand signal.
Ground ball to first. Luke has it, walks over, steps on the bag, and that'll do it, folks. The Grapevine Mustangs victorious in the regional semifinals, sweeping the Abilene Wylie Bulldogs 2-0. And moving on to the regional finals for the 3rd straight year. The defending champs are still alive, Jeff.
Another dominant pitching outing by an Esquivel, and last night it was Luke. Today it's Lolly. That's the second time Lolly's come out here in the playoffs and just totally shut down the other team. He did that in Game 2 of the Joshua series, just never really gave them much of an opportunity to score. So that's 2 straight shutout complete games by Lolly, and the Mustangs shut out the Bulldogs for the series. So there's certainly more to the story, but when you keep the other team from scoring, the worst you can do is tie. So, but the Mustang hitters had a big night last night, 13 hits last night, 6 today, and pushed 4 runs across. Good execution. Twice we had runners at third base with less than 2 outs. Got sac flies by Lolly, Esquivel, as well as Zach Goldstein at the plate. and defensively, just a clean ball game, no errors by the Mustangs. A dominant series. This one, quite honestly, was the most comfortable series we've had. The Brewer series as well as the Joshua series were much more challenging, but take nothing away from Wylie. They went 26-7 on the season, so they're a good ball team. But the Mustangs are just a little bit better, and use that to move on here to the regionals.
That's right. Congratulations, of course, to Coach Martin and his Bulldogs on a great season. District champs, by-district champs, and area champs from West Texas. But the Mustangs are moving on, and now we get to do some scoreboard watching at 4 p.m. today to see if it'll be Argyle or Lubbock Cooper that we take on next week. Jeff, what do you think?
Well, again, the Mustangs are very familiar with Argyle and handled them fairly easily during the regular season. Now, if we happen to square off with them next week, those first two games don't mean anything, and it's a brand new season. But I think the Mustangs will be comfortable with that matchup. We hit their pitching well in both games, and from what I've seen, their pitching in the playoffs looks to be the same, at least starting pitching, the same as what we saw during the regular season. But Lubbock Cooper is another team we're familiar with from prior playoff runs, and if we have to come back out here to Graham and play Lubbock Cooper, Mustangs are now 4-0 in this venue and have played really well out here. I think the players like it out here. The coaches like it out here. So that's not the end of the world if we happen to make another road trip out here to square off with Lubbock Cooper.
Well, good stuff and a great series here by the Tradio broadcast team. I have thoroughly enjoyed working with you guys and especially working with you, Jeff. What a great time here.
Well, BC Carpenter, thank you for joining us as our guest. And for the whole Tradio crew, this is Jeff Knipper signing off. You've been watching Mustang Baseball live on Tradio.